On the 4th of July 1957, 181 years after the Americans declared their independence, the Italians did the same with this, the Fiat 500. Post-war Italy was just beginning to find its feet and assert its romance and passion on the rest of the world. And now even the most average of Italians could express his or her individuality behind the wheel. If the Volkswagen Beetle was the original people's car, then the original Cinquecento was the car of the people, reflecting the style and glamour of Italian lifestyle, something which it continues to do today. If there was such a thing as a coffee table car, this would be it. And it'd probably fit as well.
And it really possibly could. The 500 measures in at 2.97 metres long. To put that in perspective, the Isetta bubble car, accepted as a tiny microcar, is a whopping 3.8 metres long, dwarfing the little Fiat.
Forget anything that you ever thought before about small cars, because when you first stand next to the Fiat 500, you can't help but be mesmerised by how small it actually is. The tiny little wheels, the little flared arches, the intricate bumpers, it's cute. And I don't like that I use the word cute in a car video any more than you do, but it just is. It's cute.
Beyond the fact that you have to use a pipe cleaner to polish the grille, the Fiat 500 really is small in every sense. When it was launched, the 500 had a 479cc two-cylinder engine with a startlingly sparse 13 brake horsepower. This model has the full-fat 499cc engine, putting out a no more pleasing, though, 18 horsepowers. There isn't even a fuel gauge, and depending on how far through the phrasebook you are, you might not even realise the Italian for petrol.
You can be forgiven for not brushing up on your Italian before driving the Fiat 500 for the first time. But I guarantee, if you ignore the red light below the word benzina, you'll remember that one for the rest of your life, together with the ones that accompanied it as you trudged off with your jerry can to the nearest petrol station.
You may use similar words if you fail to perfect the all but lost art of double declutching. The lack of synchromesh in the gearbox might remind you of the noise a Group B Fiat Mirafiori made as it whined past you on the RAC rally, but that is where the similarities end. The open road is not the place to really experience the Fiat 500's charm. In fact, the car will feel out of its depth.
Which is why I'm heading into Hull city centre to see if the tight, cobbled streets of Hull's old town will put a spring in the Fiat 500's step.
This is the place to get to know the car widely acknowledged as the first proper city car. You'll leave behind irate motorists who expect you to at least drive at 60 miles per hour. You'll swap the bemusement of those people who overtake you on the dual carriageway for the envy of city centre commuters who envy your style, and you'll enjoy the convenience of driving a car the size of a large Badger on congested city roads. Italy was, and still is, all about getting from A to B as quickly as possible. And if you've ever driven on the streets of Rome, you'll know that's not about raw power, it's about your ability to squeeze down tight roads and negotiate the odd pavement. But when Europe was crying out for economical, utilitarian vehicles, Fiat answered the brief with something that always looked like being a little more.
City cars are back in, and I bet you can't find one that you think looks vaguely attractive. Quirky's probably the best you can do. And I'm not talking about the new generation Fiat 500, because like all good ideas, it got bigger. It's not exactly a city car anymore, in the purest sense anyway. The original 500 is an icon of design, a sentiment echoed well beyond the motoring scene. A bit like the Mini, this car defines a period of self-discovery, an exploration of commercialism born out of a need to keep things simple. The Fiat 500 isn't a driver's classic car. It's an experience car, a fashion statement, something which you need to try at least once because you might just like it. And if you don't, well, you can always put it on the coffee table.